Hey everybody, Abdullah Shamar here. Today we're going to be talking about how you can achieve the American dream. Let's do it. As a first generation college student, as well as a child of immigrant parents, it's a key thing to be able to understand how to become successful in this country, how to be able to know the ropes, how to be able to get through college, how to be able to get into the correct trajectory when it comes to your career. And all of these things require certain steps, requires due diligence, requires you to work really hard, and in many cases have to work much harder than others because of the unique privileges that certain demographics and certain groups of people have compared to immigrant children. And in addition to people that have been in the United States that might be from certain underrepresented communities or communities that might be subjugated to systemic racism within the country that doesn't allow them to achieve successes as easily as other demographics. So I think it's very important. I wanted to make this video in order to be able to help encourage those people who are first generation college students or they're trying to hustle in order to be able to make something for themselves as well as their family. I think one key aspect that you have to have in order to become successful is making sure to hone in on finding a mentor within your specific realm of expertise or what your career trajectory is going to be. It's very important to find a mentor, somebody who can guide you through the steps that are necessary. It's not a surprise that you see many people who are actors and their children become actors as well, or people who are in investment banking and their children become investment bankers. It's because their parents know the step-by-step guide in order to be able to be successful in that industry, and many of us don't have that. So it's important for us to seek out those mentors. Tools such as LinkedIn have made it much more easy to be able to find those mentors. Go to LinkedIn, look up the career that you want to participate in or you're aiming for, and find the most successful people in those careers and try to reach out to those individuals to be able to get their help. Many people are open to mentoring others and being able to share the wealth of knowledge that they've accumulated over the years in order to help other people become successful, and as well as to counter the systemic racism that unfortunately is built into this country, as well as the economic racism due to the fact of how this country has been built and the disadvantages that certain demographics have when it comes to wealth accumulation. As I mentioned, the first step is making sure to seek out a mentor out there that can guide you through the step-by-step process of becoming successful in your specific career. The second thing is nothing replaces hard work. Really need to be able to do hard work in order to be able to be successful. We can see many entrepreneurs and other wealthy individuals that they work really hard. They put the hours in. They made sure to be able to be the person who was working the hardest in their specific area in order to be able to be successful. And they had that willpower because they really wanted to achieve success, and their hard work showed it. And there's so many articles out there of people, working 18-hour days or 100-hour weeks or whatever it may be. And that's really, in some cases, what you need to do in order to be successful, especially when you don't have the privileges that many others do in the same area of expertise that you're working through or career that you're trying to achieve. So it's important to be able to have that work ethic and that hard work. And in almost all cases, immigrant children as well as first generation college students have that fire in them because they know what their parents had to do in order to be able to help them achieve that education or to be able to help them get to where they are. So they have that fire and they're willing to work hard and put in the late hours in order to be successful. Lastly, I will say the last thing that is needed is networking. You got to make sure you're networking with individuals. The bigger your network, the more connections that you have, it's able to help you to be able to expand what you're able to do. You're able to ask different individuals for advice. You're able to ask different individuals for key needs that you might have for your business or for your ventures or whatever it may be. So increasing that network is really important, whether that's going to a certain university, the big universities, the Ivy Leagues, the well-known universities, they have huge networks. And that's one of the biggest things and advantages that those universities have are the networks that they provide. Although they might be a little bit more expensive, the education is probably not much different than a state school. However, the network that you're able to gain from those universities is much different than what you would gain from a state school. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of the wealthy and privileged individuals go to those universities, because of the network that they're able to accumulate going to those schools. So networking is very important inside of school and outside of school. So those are three key high level things that I think are important for first generation college students, as well as immigrant children or people who might be in underrepresented and non-privileged parts of society. So it's important to keep those in mind. We'll go through some further things, as well as interviewing some individuals who have achieved success being from immigrant parents or underserved communities, or people who might not be in the privileged parts of society. It'll be important for us to be able to accumulate this wealth, be able to network with one another, and help all of us to be able to be successful in each of our respective careers and to be able to accumulate wealth. And as Chamath Palihapitiya would say, is in order to be able to bring our perspective to the world. And that only happens when you have the power and the wealth to do so. So we got to keep accumulating that wealth and accumulating that power so that we can steer the agenda of the world to where we think it should be. As always, make money, enjoy life, peace.